Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host, Matt Marrero, along with the other host,
Tristan Walter.
And we are recording this very early compared
Live
to
from Spirit World.
Compared to when we usually do this, it feels like I'm live from Spirit World right now. Because, it's coming out on the same day, and it's funny because some people might say, I will tell you, I'll let you into our creative circle. Just come on down, sit down, all right?
Matt was
Here's
dead,
water,
and I had to revive him with a spirit egg.
I wish it was that. I might be having eggs soon with some spirit bacon. But anyway,
okay.
We're doing this at 12 p.m. Usually we'd be doing these podcasts either 11:30 p.m., which means much later in the night, which means Matt is actually more awake. Usually it'll be 11:30 p.m. days in advance, maybe, or something like that, and then they'll come out on the same day, like, oh, hey, here, on a different day, like, oh, here you go. But we're doing this today on a Saturday, so hooray, but not hooray because it's 12, and Matt usually wakes up at 2. To be fair, goes to sleep very late, like late to the point where it's not considered night, it's considered morning, but still. So here we fucking are, doing a Yu Hakusho Season 1 Part 1, which, to clarify, is episodes 1 to 13. You and I wanted to originally do the full first season, but we sat back and realized it was probably a lot easier to just cut it off at rando for now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
just to kind of have a lot more talking points.
Yeah, this should be cut off at the sacred beasts, or the spirit beasts, or the saint beasts, however you want to say it.
Yeah. Well, for right now, I think it would be better to just cut it off at 13 compared to 25, because, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The rest of it...
Oh, yes. I get what you're trying to say. No, you said,
okay.
It should be cut off at that sacred beast, and I'm like, but we didn't. So, but I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, the next half should be that.
Yeah, we did. Right. Okay.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I just want to clarify. You're not saying we fucked up. You're saying we did good.
No. Yes.
Matt did good.
So we're going through, Yusuke coming back to life, his technical first case with Hiei Kurama and Goki. Whatever random
Goku,
guy they could pick up on the way. Oh, dear God.
I love that. I love they picked them up, though, because, it's so interesting to see how, they didn't even go the Dragon Ball Z route, or it's not the Dragon Ball Z, the Dragon Ball route with, we'll make one of them, a good guy. They just took both. It's great. Goki is just left out in the cold. Because the way I look at it is, even with Dragon Ball Z, when you think of, 3 villains, let's say Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta, they took Vegeta. Yeah. They didn't take Nappa and Vegeta. You know what I mean? It's not like Nappa was just you know what, I'm a good guy, too. No.
No, you get to die.
You take...
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah, I know that in Dragon Ball they took a lot of people. Let's say Puar and... But, I don't look at Hiei and be like, that's Puar. I don't look at... same
no,
height,
I look,
but, other than
look
that,
at Hiei and it's they took the Vegeta.
They took, even though it's funny, because it's wait, is Kuwabara not the Vegeta? It's well, he's voiced by Chris Sabat, so I don't know.
No,
everyone by Chris Sabat
Krillin.
is the Vegeta. Kuwabara's Krillin. God damn it. He is
he is.
I think at this point he isn't. I would argue. Not at this point. Later, maybe.
He's the main character's best friend. Not in the dying respect. I'm saying he's the main character's best friend who's not exactly the most powerful, but he's got the most heart, and he always comes through for you at the last second.
Yeah, that's why he's not Krillin. Krillin was not able to come through for you. Maybe in Dragon Ball, not in Z. I'm sorry, but in Z it was kind of hey, I'm happy to see you guys. I'm over here.
Hey, Hey, he helped hold off the Ginyu Force by getting his neck broken. So you know what? You can
That's
go
not coming
shove
through.
it.
That's being cannon fodder.
Shut up.
I love Krillin, but
what do you call Kuwabara versus the Tagoro brothers, huh?
Well, he didn't stand over here. Legally tournament, he couldn't actually do that.
Oh,
but anyway, so talking about them here, by the way, I don't know if have you ever read the manga?
No, I've never actually gotten the chance. I do want to, though.
Oh, my God. I feel really bad then because, like, okay, so here's the thing, right? There was a lot of stuff cut out in adapting this. And,
right, at the very beginning.
At the very beginning,
life.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which sucks because that was cut, in my opinion, you really don't get to see a certain side of Yusuke where it's more of you're being shown that he's a good guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like most of it is you kind of being told. Like you're kind of just going through the motions, and like Yusuke is likable enough, especially because of the nice things that he does. Like he does enough nice things that you're kind of like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right? But I think he did a lot more in the manga, and that's why over the first volume. By the time he gets like second, third volume, and he's just like, hey, we have Koenma like, okay, you've done enough good deeds. The other thing too, it's just like you have to do good deeds.
Yeah.
Right? Now I will admit it made sense where it's just like, oh, you by doing that really fucked things over, so we don't know, right?
Right.
But still, at the same time, it happened in the manga too, just at first, and then he did more and more good deeds. And it's like, hey, so you did good, kid. Where here it's kind of just like, all right, we really want to get to that fighting. Which, look, I don't blame them. I'm not saying like it would have been a little weird if it would have been rough. I think if the first 13 episodes were just him doing good deeds, and that's what we were talking about. Like I admit, I don't know if we would have been able. Like, at least when we were younger, to get into it. I don't know if it would have been on Adult Swim or Toonami, because eventually we would have gotten to fighting, but the first 13 would have been a kind of slice of life thing. But I like that transition, personally. I like that transition, but I understand how it would be weird to adapt it. However, overall, like the entire 13 episodes, in my opinion, were very rushed. And I don't really understand why, because I get the idea of like, okay, let's cut out the you're trying to do good deeds stuff, right? Because who cares about good deeds? But so cut that out. But it felt
let's just get to the killing.
Basically, but even then, the fights. I don't know. Maybe it's because you and I grew up in a very Dragon Ball Z kind of household, I guess. Just watching Dragon Ball Z and just being like, my goodness. And then, like, tune in next time for Kia! Right? But but watching this, it just felt a little bit too fast, where me thinking about certain chapters, they were just like, yeah, no, we'll do that in this half, we'll do that in this other half of the same episode. And I'm like, that's really fucking quick.
Right,
just like,
and I think you're referring mainly to the Genkai tournament, right?
Yes, the Genkai tournament fights, most definitely. But even before that, where it was just kind of like, oh no, Yusuke needs to return. Like, even just the idea of Yusuke needs to come back to life. Oh, hey, so your body's glowing. Oh, hey, so you're back. Like, it took like 6 episodes for him to die and then come right back. And then also the next, like, because to me, like, again, I guess probably it's a manga thing. Me seeing him being Yusuke, look at the soothsayer, Botan.
Right.
And by the way, not know who he is. That was not know who she is. That was funny. In the manga, it makes more sense, obviously. But like, it was smart that they didn't use her as much. They were very brief with her, and then they also had her do a funny voice. I was like, that's
right.
Funny. But because it's obviously the same thing with Goki, where it's just like in the manga it makes sense. You can't hear people, but it's anime, so she has to just be like, oh, let's make a campfire, and I'm like, this is funny. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so the point is that it just felt like they were really like getting through all of it real quick, and the manga, like the way it's drawn, there aren't really a lot of backgrounds, depending on what scene you're in, and it is very quick. I mean, it's manga, but usually it's up to the anime to be like, okay, cool, so we'll animate this, and this will take a while. I mean, look, it was 110 episodes overall as a series, and that's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's short. It gets the job done. And I'm not saying I wanted to have 220. I'm not saying I wanted to have 293, because good God,
right.
Tristan, good God. That's the reason why I can't sit here and just do all of DBZ with you. 293. 293.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what are your take on the 13 episodes that we've seen? What's your take?
Well, I mean, I was going to say, okay, for one, hey, Kuwabara had to get punched in the face a lot in those 6 episodes to, have him come back, so.
Yeah, that's true. Kuwabara is just like, didn't feel quick to me, you Meshi.
No, he's just like, surprised to be dead. I'm the one who should be surprised I'm alive. God damn. God
damn it. That is true. Who got hit a lot. I'm actually really happy that they kept the one with what is it? The test one. I'm very happy they kept that one because as a kid, right? Because they cut out all other filler, and I didn't know what manga. Like I didn't read manga at the time when this came out on Adult Swim. I was seeing it on Adult Swim even though I wasn't supposed to. Shh, I was 12. Anyway,
I know, me too.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. But so anyway, so watching this as a kid, even though I didn't know what filler was exactly, I felt like it was. Because I was like, this is weird as, like, like being like, oh, no, he's dead, he has to come back to life. Even though I didn't know it had fights yet, just because my anime experience had been stuff like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And, and Dragon Ball Z, obviously. But I'm saying if there's any other fighting ones, or action ones. So me looking at Yu Hakusho and it being like, oh no, a test? I was like, this doesn't feel right. This feels like, you know what it was? This feels like Piccolo and Goku are going out for a drive.
Oh God.
But that wasn't the case. It was actually in the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So overall, did you like the way they transitioned into like, oh hey, we're come back to life, and now it's just like fighting time?
I mean, it's funny. Just watching the anime, like I do want to go back and like read the manga and see what stuff has been taken out, and maybe I'll probably I might feel a little bit more like you, like things have been rushed a bit, but like I gotta be honest, those first few episodes, like going back and watching it, it's like, oh God, all right, come on guys, let's get to the fun part.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
like,
for me, I feel like, granted, I again, what I said earlier in the episode, I understand. Like, I don't know if 13 episodes of that would have worked,
right?
But I liked what we got.
Oh yeah,
like,
and like,
to me,
don't get me wrong, like I love the character interactions, and I love Yusuke like tailing Kuwabara around and seeing him go through shit. And like I love like the test episode. I thought that was really cool. Like that really gave you the sense that Kuwabara is the one with the code kind of thing that he keeps going on about, and then proceeds to get floored. I love that, man.
What I love is Togashi, the artist and writer for the manga. He's also written Hunter x Hunter.
Yes.
Right? So in my head, even he's sitting there like, can we just get to the good part with the tournament? Like, sir, you drew this. I don't... Stop it. Let's get to the part with the tournaments, guys. Come on. Well, you're the one who has the power to do that.
By the good part, I meant him just being the spirit detective. Like, once we got into, him pile driving Goki, I was like, okay, I'm invested. Let's do this.
Pile driving Goki, that's great. Like, because they have to understand, the visual in my head is just like, my God, that's not a thing.
Well, that's like, you remember when Botan took him to Spirit World and went to go see, Koenma? And, she's talking to him about King Yama, and he's like, I wonder how big he is. I wonder if I could take him. It's like, maybe I'll jump onto his arm and then punch him in the eye, and then I'll bite his ear, and then he's just like talking to himself and screaming that'll show him.
He was making, I think he did say like a wrestling reference, like power bomb or pile drive. I think you're right.
Pretty sure he said pile driver, something like that.
And it's beautiful because for the Genkai stuff, he was like, I get to go to the Tokyo Dome, and assuming that he's referring to what I think he's referring to, Tokyo Dome, he's most likely referring to watching a pro wrestling match.
Right.
So it's not the exact equivalent, but it's like saying, I'm going to a pay-per-view. Like I'm going to see, not WrestleMania exactly, but I'm going to see like a WWE pay-per-view that's big. But it could be like WrestleMania, arguably. And then it's like saying, sorry, even though you have free tickets to WrestleMania, you have to, stay here and train for 6 months. Like when I was younger, and even now, I'm like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You let him fulfill his obligations, and then he will train with you. Don't do that to a man. Fucked up.
That's like, I'm not going to lie.
What?
I thought of you in that scene. I'm like, this is what Matt would be doing.
Yeah. No, it was like, that's wrong. Like, just let him fulfill his obligations of going to the Tokyo Dome
and
seeing
funny
Antonio Inoki, and then we're
later on in the series, Kuwabara does the same thing, but with, like, a concert. And I'm like, and now it's my turn. Because Matt is Yusuke and I'm Kuwabara. Oh, God, what is my life?
Well, on the picture, I'm actually Hiei, so.
Okay, that's
a fight. But
Please tell me you made me Kurama.
No, I think I made you Yusuke because you're the main character.
Oh, thank God.
Also, because I beat your ass.
But you're the. Oh.
You won, but I beat your ass.
Sassy bitch.
Anyway, so and you say that in the most. You say that in the most Yusuke way possible. Like, I feel like he would say that at some point. Yumeshi what? Could you repeat that one, Yumeshi? But anyway, what was I going to? Oh, yes. What was your first experience with Yu Yu
Hakusho? Okay, well, my first experience was probably similar to yours. I think I saw it come on one night on Adult Swim. And it must have been, like, earlier. Like, maybe, like, 9, 10 o'clock or something? Or, like, I don't know. But, like...
You may be... It's funny. Here's the thing, right? I want to say you're wrong. But even nowadays, Adult Swim will come on at, like, 9 or 10, depending on the night.
Like,
so it may have actually came on at 10.
Late. Yeah.
It may have came on at 10.
And originally, like, it came on earlier... And they had, like, stuff like this on. Maybe it was... All right, I forget. Because I didn't really watch Adult Swim at that point. I was still younger,
That's fine.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But I saw it come on, and I'm like, this looks like it's drawn like Dragon Ball. That's interesting. And it just caught my attention, so I'm like, all right, what is this? And it's, this, dark-haired kid running through an alleyway in a green jumpsuit. And I'm like, okay, that pretty much fits anime profile. All right, I'll bite. What is it? And then, so he was running after it was his first case, and he's going after Goki, and he sees the kid's spirit flying down the alleyway.
Oh, wow.
And so when he turns the corner, the first line that I hear is just him going, shit! And I'm like, I need to turn this off immediately. I'm like, please don't tell me my parents heard that. Please don't tell me my parents heard that.
You're such a good kid.
Yeah.
It's so funny because, like, there was nothing sexual about Yu Hakusho.
No.
So literally, I feel like your mom and dad would have just walked in and sat down and been like, what you watching, son? And you're like, no, but mommy and daddy, they did curtsy pose.
Yeah, pretty much.
So my story was somewhat similar because, all right, so I'm in Merrick, Long Island at my dad's house, right? Just other family house. And I'm there, and my dad's like, all right, you got to go to sleep now. And I'm like, got it. And he goes, okay, so I'll put the TV on a timer for you. you'll go to sleep, whatever. And I'm like, that's cool, Dad, love you. And so he's gone, and I'm sitting there, and I'm pretty sure it was late. So it was late Cartoon Network. Powerpuff Girls was on, and I was pretty hyped because it was a good show.
Right.
And
it was.
So what ends up happening, and then it transitions into, like, whatever's next. And it's like Adult Swim, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't usually watch Adult Swim, but usually I'm like, oh, no, it is. Like, because they used to have those promos like, all kids get out of the pool. Right? Like that one where it's like, it's time for Adult Swim.
Yes, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what?
Dear God, that's
I'm here in this room. Yes. I'm like, I'm here in this room, alone. I wonder what'll be on. Because also, remember that, think about it like this too, right? You might be like, well, what do you mean what'll be on? Like nowadays, we have, like, you don't have to go to a guide channel. If anyone doesn't remember, this was the day where you had to go to a guide channel. You couldn't just press info and see what was coming next. So really, everything was...
Matt, we're dating ourselves again.
I wish I was dating you, you big, beautiful man. So
I meant age, you
I know. I know. But anyway, so,
I'm going to punch you so hard kittens won't recognize you.
I love that line so much. And it makes sense when you see Keiichi later. So anyway, so there's no guide or anything. I have to go to a freaking channel, so I'm like, let me see what's on next. And then Yu Hakusho starts playing, but it's the English song. Like, you know, it's the English version of Small Bomb. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, what is this? So I watch it, and it's episode 2, right, where he's, you know, where Botan's, because imagine in the same way that I saw Dragon Ball Z, where you kind of just walk in on 2 dudes flying, and you're like, the fuck?
What?
Right? Like Vegeta Goku flying, talking about fights, and I'm like, what? That's how it was with Yu Hakusho, where it's just like, Yusuke's dead, and now he has to get him, you know, he has to get back to the world of the living. And I'm like, what? And then Botan's just like, oh, Yusuke, so, you know, we're here at, like, River Styx, you know, stuff like that. It's just like, what's going on right now?
So we're in hell? Bingo. God damn it.
You know, I sat there and I was like, them being in hell or something along those lines, I was like, this is a bit, I know, like, you know, technically Dragon Ball Z had hell as well, the Home for Infinite Losers, but actually hell. But still, the point is that it was still different to me because, you know, Dragon Ball Z, was heavily censored at the time. So even them just saying stuff like that, I'm pretty sure Yusuke curses in episode 2, or at least it's something close enough. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow, this is really, like, interesting. Because what is this? Because, again, also remember, you know, even you being like, oh, I don't know what this is. Let me take a look at it. You know, nowadays, it's just like, oh, what is this? Info? Yu Hakusho? Let me look this up on my phone. Oh, that's what it's about? Huh, that seems pretty cool. I'll check it out. Like, it's a lot better nowadays, I would argue, but there is a little bit of, like, mystique that I think can be lost, even if you're, freaking 8 years old, and you just, you know, and your parents have a smartphone, and they let you use it for some reason, and, or, you know, just a tablet, even if it's just a tablet, and they can, you know, just type in the exact name of the show that's on the screen, and then you're good. But back then, it was just like, Yu Hakusho, you say. Well, like, internet existed, but in no way was it like it is right now, where I'm like, when did Yu Hakusho come out again? Let me just check in 5 seconds. Literally 5 seconds.
The Explorer browser is just like, you want to try that one again, kid?
Anyone that tries to argue with me, no, I'm pretty sure that movie is this. I'm just like, dude, click. I'm just like, in 5 seconds. This is 5 seconds of work. Like, no one can argue about actors anymore. Remember? Back in the good old days?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that actor was in that movie. Actually, go fuck yourself. Wikipedia. I won this round. Right. That's what it's become. But anyway, so that was my experience. And then what's funny enough is my dad also ended up, I think later that year, getting me the second ever Shonen Jump. He was like, this looks like something you'd enjoy. So I found it at the newsstand or whatever it was, because they were like, Shonen Jump was really popular in America at the time, so they were in other places. Like, there were a lot of places that were selling Shonen Jump. So I was like, thanks, Dad. And I was like, wow, Yu Hakusho is in here. And I got so mad because since it was the second issue of Shonen Jump.
Right.
Do you know where it started, Tristan?
The second episode?
Yeah, I was so fucking pissed, man. I was like, so I guess I'm never going to see how Yusuke dies, huh?
Oh, don't worry. You'll get more opportunities. What?
Yeah, because again, it's 2004. Yeah, exactly, right? Yusuke is Krillin. Because again, it's 2004. So, and, you know, for me, it's just like you can't sit there and think. I'm not saying you should, but you can't sit there and think, I will download the manga.
Yeah. Like,
that's crazy to think about in 2004. Like, it can happen, but, like, I don't think you would have had full scanlations. Not that you should, but I really don't think you would have had full scanlations. And obviously it wasn't fully done in English yet, like, officially either. It's 2004. So, in America. So, yeah, that was my experience with Yu Hakusho. That was yours. And then from there, I just made sure to try to watch it whenever I could because, you know, it was kind of like, I didn't, it was sad because, like, I think around, like, a little bit after this, I kind of got off of it. Not because I wanted to, but because it was very hard at the time to try to watch it. I mean, my mom would also try to take me and then, you know, some other family to Florida. And even in Florida, I was like, I'm watching this. So I remember trying to watch a Yu Hakusho in Florida at like 11 p.m. Because, you know, they were like, oh, you can go to bed, we're going to watch a movie. I'm like, that's cool.
Right.
It was so funny. It was like, you don't want to watch this movie? No, I do not. They were like, good, because it's more of an like adult movie. It was like a scary movie or something. Or Scary Movie 2. And I was like, yeah, you do that. I'm watching this in the room. Awesome.
I'm going to go watch my ghost show. Wait, what?
Basically. Yeah. So I have a question for you. So no matter how many times you see episode 1, do you cry? Because I cry.
When he gets hit by the car? Or?
No, the funeral.
Oh, the funeral. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I sit there and I'm like, God. I know what's going to happen. I know he's coming back. Not only is he coming back, he's coming back with a vengeance.
You know what it is for me? It's the music, man. The musical.
Yes, very good score.
It does it to me every freaking time. Every time I hear that theme come on, I'm like, oh dear God, I'm gonna break down and roll around on the floor crying.
Yeah, it makes me sad.
It's always something bad.
Yeah, the musical score in this, I really enjoyed it, and even some of the stuff that it's very repetitive, like during a fight.
Yeah, or chase scenes.
Yeah. Yes. The thing is, though, I will say, even though they're repetitive in ways where it gets stuck in your head.
Catchy as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're very catchy. So, it's funny because, during a fight, I'll know something big is about to happen when a certain score hits. And I'm like, oh, God, this is when, shit's about to get real, in the last few seconds. So, yeah,
I miss that.
I really
do.
Yeah, I do, too. Yeah, no, it'll get stuck in your head, and out of nowhere, now that you said, oh yeah, during the funeral, all I hear is bum bum bum.
Yeah, exactly.
Bum bum bum. And I'm like, God damn it. We do Indiana Jones one day with and then we freaking do this. It's like bum 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 bum. You know what? I'm going to be completely... I don't know if anyone has seen the first Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, but a character dies in it, and I feel like it wasn't really focused on enough. If they played that musical cue, I would have been... I would have been okay with it. No, I would have been there. I would have been just fine with, the second, it happens, just bum, bum, bum.
Oh, jeez.
Bum, bum, bum. I would have been like, yeah, makes sense. But yeah, so how do you feel about let's see here, looking through my notes. So you don't feel like so you feel like him coming back to life was just fine. There was no, Like, it didn't take too long or too short. It was too long to you. You were just like, I want to get to Spirit Detective.
I mean, the first few times I saw the series, I thought it was fine. Like, going back after a while and seeing it, it's like, it feels like it drags a little bit, but it's only because I already know what happens. So, like, the big plot twist, like, yeah, I know, guys. I've been here a few years.
So, so, because for
but
you,
that's why
you've
DVD
seen it so
is
many...
beautiful.
Yes, because you've seen it so many times. Like,
right.
Arguably more than I have, because, like, I not that I'm going to sit here and be like, I have so much more to do. But, no, like, I have a lot to do. So, like, I feel weird about watching something again unless I'm watching it with a friend or I'm showing it to someone new, or they're like, oh, put that on. So, usually I'm not a fan of watching it over and over. You, on the other hand, you're like, nah, give me that. So, and you have the entire DVD set. So, like, I understand you saying, like, no, I need this. Right?
Well, it's
more
funny,
often.
like,
I mean,
I haven't watched this through. This is probably only my third time watching it through. Because Dragon Ball, oh, God.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I'm surprised those DVDs still work.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Yeah. Oh, God, I hated those teachers when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the point. But,
see,
man, I hated those teachers.
Funny. Like, that was one of the things, like, as I watched the series more, that was one of the things, like, when I was a kid, I kind of, in a weird way, looked up to Yusuke because he didn't take shit from anyone, even though he got suspended all the time. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I'm, I'm little goody two-shoes, 4 foot tall, But just like on the outside, I'm like, no, I would never do that. But on the inside, I'm like, punch him in the face, punch him.
Basically, you can live vicariously through Yusuke. It's like,
pretty much.
Did you do your homework, son? Yes, I did my homework, Dad. Watch a Yu Hakusho. Punch him motherfucker in the face. Immediately, you go from like Beethoven to Slipknot in 5 seconds.
God.
Like, you go from fucking Ludwig to just, I put my fingers into mine. You're just like headbanging. Just punch him in the fucking face. Oh.
Like, it was always best. Like, one of the scenes I always remember is the two kids, like, talking about, some kid talking about his wallet. He's like, oh, yeah, I blackmailed him into, I told him Urameshi was my cousin, and he forked over his wallet. And the other kid's like, whoa, don't you think that's going to come back to bite you in the ass? He's like, no, Urameshi's so stupid he won't even realize. He probably would think I'm his cousin. And then his hand just appears on the wall next to him. He's like, you want to repeat that again? I'm sorry. I'm a little hard of hearing. Or like, I'm a little stupid. You want to say that again to my face?
I love it.
Do it!
I love, especially because, again, he didn't take shit, but he also wasn't he was a jerk, but he wasn't an asshole to the point where he was just like, oh, no, like, I'm going to... Like, he was going to hurt them, but he wasn't picking on kids for their lunch money. Now, of course,
no, he wasn't. Yusuke didn't start shit unless you started it first. That was the whole thing. And that's why I loved it, because, once you did, it's like, nope, this is all on you. And no one is going to come and save your ass.
Which is a trope among, like, the whole, like, like in an anime.
I know.
Well, no, but it's a good trope, though. I like that. I like that idea. No, because Kuwabara, even though he became a good guy, like, very easily, because he never really was a horrible person, he would always start shit.
Yeah.
Not even just with Yusuke. I feel like Kuwabara, like, before the series, just walk around, just someone gives him a look, and, like, he knows that person is from a rival school. You want to fight?
Right. Yeah.
Give me a look. I said you want to fight. So, you can't make his face look any uglier.
Honestly, I feel like one of his friends would get, like, knocked around or something, and then Kuwabara would be like, all right, coming in to save your ass.
Yeah, well, and that's nice. Again, that's the good stuff about Kuwabara.
Yeah, right.
Because he was, like you said, he really cared about a code and cared about honor.
It's funny. I really think the only person that Kuwabara went out of his way to pick a fight with was Yusuke.
Yusuke. Yeah. Well, because it was always. I mean, it really is the Vegeta Goku mentality. Not that Vegeta wouldn't pick a fight with everyone in the universe, but the idea that it's always Goku, because who does he never beat? Always Goku. Right. To the point where I mean, we've seen Super. We've seen Super. It's we've done Super on the show, on the podcast. Yeah. It's basically gotten to the point where Vegeta's just like, I now live vicariously through goo. Like,
oh,
God. But anyway, so watch Super, everybody. It's actually a lot of fun.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes in the first 13 episodes. Is just the first meeting with Kuwabara, because he says, you're a Meshi. Today's the day I beat you into the ground, and Yusuke's response is, I was having a pretty shitty day. Maybe taking it out on you will make me feel better. I'm like, that's not how main characters talk, and then proceeds to floor him into the concrete. I'm like,
yes,
holy
definitely.
shit.
Definitely for you and I, it's a big difference. You and I. No, because again, we're growing up on Goku, who's just like, hey everybody, I'm Goku, right? Or it's just, I feel very bad about myself, but then I transform, Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Or it's just, gotta catch them all, right? Like, that's just their really nice.
I want to be friends with everything.
Yeah. And Yu Yu Hakusho is still a kid's show in Japan.
Oh, yeah, right.
But to our American sensibilities and values, quote unquote, TM, it's so different to us, especially as kids, where again, that's what we've grown up with, and it made sense to put it on Adult Swim. Very interesting when they took it off. I felt not betrayed, but I was kind of like you're gonna have to edit it now, really. Mm. Like, I like being able to see it at 6 p.m. every day. That was, I was kind of sitting there like, you know what? These edits are just fine. Like, 6 p.m. every day. Never mind. Instead of, once a fucking week. And I could potentially barely see it once a week. I was like, no, we're good, son. I was like, we're so good. But yeah, so I want to mention one little thing. In episode 4, the little girl that was an investigator, sent by Koenma. You remember her?
Right.
Little tiny girl?
Yes.
Yeah. She, little tiny Koenma, little tiny girl. That's them. She actually was just a random ghost that Yusuke met. And it was really cute because she's a little girl ghost that Yusuke helped out and met. And then she's actually jealous of Keiko. Because it's just she's a little girl. The little girl has a crush on Yusuke. That's
right,
cute.
Yeah.
But here, it was kind of like she had to investigate, and I guess it kind of makes sense, you had to give him a different character there to kind of watch over him. But it would have been weird, I think, if it was just Yusuke and Botan. But the way they, felt like they needed to include her, it kind of threw everything off, in my opinion. I get that they're like, oh, no, but we want someone else there. But did it just feel randomly weird that they're just like, oh, little human girl ghost is now watching over you. But only for this episode, you'll never see her again. Yeah,
that did feel weird.
Yeah. So that's where that is. That makes sense to you now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, yes, by the way, by episode 5, it did take 2 manga volumes. I have to have it here in my notes. So 2 manga volumes. And also, something I really want to mention that I find interesting. I wonder if they can't show cigarettes on Japanese TV. Or at least they can't show them holding lit cigarettes, them being quote-unquote children, under the age of 18.
Yeah.
And I only say that because they did have Yusuke use a cigarette in the in the fight with Big Ass McStrongman. Wrestler mask, if you will. During the Genkai fight.
Genkai was the one who was smoking the cigarette. Yeah, she tossed it into the arena. He just picked it up, and you don't actually see him pick it up. It's a flashback where he picks it up and puts it in his gi. Oh, I love that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Where in the manga, it's always Yusuke, in the first episode, where it's just I think you're trying to chew gum, and Keiko slaps. Yes. And mind you, we're watching uncut, Funimation versions. So we're not watching, DVD edits or TV edits. No, we're watching Uncut, and I think he's chewing gum or something like
Yeah.
that. And in the manga, he's actually smoking a cigarette.
Smoking a cigarette, right.
Yes, that you know about. And so he's smoking a cigarette, and then during, with the Keiichi thing, like a little cute cat, which, by the way, in the manga looks so much cuter. And I was like when you first, I have to show you, take a picture of it and send it to you. When you first see Keiichi, you're like, oh, my God. If you hurt that thing, I will come into your world and beat the ever-loving shit out of you.
Yeah.
No, I've sent you a picture of how Togashi drew the cat. But anyway.
Was it still a broken bottle that the guy was holding up to the cat?
No, it was a cigarette to its eye.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, it's so interesting how they, I guess maybe because of their own laws, which makes sense. I believe they're not that into, like, it's interesting because, I mean, I feel like in America they'd also feel very fucking weird. But to be fair, they would say, oh, no, but this would be for adults immediately, I guess.
And
you would have it
funny.
on, yeah.
It's funny, like, let's think about this for a second. What's worse? Both things are terrible and horrible, and if you hurt that cat, I will end you. But cigarette to the eye or broken bottle?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the cat. It has to do with more like of course, what matters is it's a kid who's under 18, can't be holding a cigarette.
No.
Because
I
in their
get
heads,
that.
it's like it promotes, in which I get it, because like they're supposed even though it's funny, when it's with the bad guys, I think it would have been okay for them to have cigarettes.
Yeah.
Because it reminds
no one wants
me
to be
of
the bad guy, right?
Exactly. But with Yusuke, I actually get it a lot, because he's supposed to be the cool protagonist.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you're supposed to want to be like Yusuke.
It's funny. Like, I only laugh because, the switching of the cigarette and the bottle is because usually when you have an edit where they take something out and they put something else in, I'm used to it being nowhere near as threatening. Like, falling from a skyscraper. Oh, you fall into the Shadow Realm. Oh, those aren't saw blades that are going to hack off your legs. Those are Shadow Realm discs that will send you to the Shadow Realm. Or, the Navy using super soakers.
Well, I mean, remember this, right? Those edits were obviously, as you know, and many people know,
no, I know.
Not only done by 4Kids, but done post-production. So they had to bring in other teams to, like, erase all that stuff.
Yes.
And, and it was done only for kids. But in Japan, it was more like, okay, we have to make it lethal. It's just our laws say we in no way can use cigarettes.
Right.
Right? So that's really what it was more so than anything. Just like, look, our laws say we can't use cigarettes. I would assume that's what it is. Like, media can't use cigarettes. It's like, okay, well, what else can we use? Bottles? Perfect.
But, I love the fact in that scene it's like, replacing, instead of burning its eye with a cigarette, I'm going to stab it with a broken bottle. It's like, oh, that's equally as threatening. Holy shit.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, this bottle will send this cat to the Shadow Realm.
And you lost it.
And also kill the fuck out of it.
Okay.
But most of the Shadow Realm.
Well.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was... Oh, by the way, in the manga, Yusuke was reading Shonen Jump when he noticed Kuwabara and that other dude. It was really funny, because I was like, you're in Shonen Jump reading Shonen Jump.
I mean, I just feel like that makes complete and absolute sense.
Yes, especially Yusuke being Yusuke.
Exactly. Like, not even the sense of, look at our product. It's like, this series is in this magazine. It's like, no, Yusuke is a kid, and he would totally read Shonen Jump.
Exactly. Delinquent. I love it, too. Delinquent reads Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
But, yeah, looking at one of his shitty teachers that randomly hit him in the back of the head, I'm just like, I don't think you're allowed to do that to kids.
Yeah.
But again, it's like 90s Japan.
Takanaka.
Yes, thank you, Takanaka.
Yeah.
Just bam. And I was like,
No, Takanaka's the principal.
No, they're not Takanaka. No. Yeah.
Mr.
We like Takanaka.
Oh, God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Fuckface, that's what it was. So, with Fuckface just hitting. I'm kidding, that's the other one, the one with the buck teeth. That one's fun.
God. I hated him even more than the guy with the glasses.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, so Asshole is the tall one. So Asshole hitting Yusuke in the back of the head.
We affectionately refer to them as Asshole and Fuckface.
Fuckface. It's their God-given names, Tristan. So anyway,
Mr. Fuckface, you're suspended, but that's your name. I know.
You know you're supposed to call me by my rap name, Double FES.
Oh my God.
But anyway, but seriously though, so when Asshole hit him in the back of the head, I was sitting there and I'm just like, I guess like now that I'm older, I had to rationalize it. I'm like, well, 90s Japan and with their whole like you respect your elders kind of thing, because you're supposed to treat your teachers like your parents. Many people don't
who's going to believe him?
No, it was in the hallway. It was pretty public, man.
Well, I mean, it's like if Yusuke was like, the teacher hit me, it's like, honestly, who in this school is going to believe you over me? Think about that for a second.
You know what? Like, you have a good point. Yeah, no, you have a good point. But I do wonder if, like, a little bit of that, very little, was allowed back in the day. Because I think I remember seeing a lot of, like, stuff like that. I know it's also all fictional.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Yeah. So, I'm not too sure about that.
That's why I always loved, like, the principal coming in. Because he would always be like, stop that. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me do my job because obviously you can't do yours correctly. And then it's funny, like, there was one point where, I think Yusuke it's supposed to be the cigarette, but it's the gum, and Takanaka might have slapped him in the back of the head, like, don't you dare light that on school grounds or something like that. But it was like, it wasn't,
don't you chew that.
Right. Yeah. I love the gag that Yusuke pulled on him when he's grabbing him by the ear, and his ear pops off, and he's like, ah! It's like, relax, old man. It's a toy.
I know, it was funny. But, so I'm looking over my notes right now, and I want to mention that, so when Koema stopped time, he actually didn't stop time in the manga, and it was a lot funnier that way. I feel like certain things were actually funnier in the manga in a good way, like it was able to cut some tension, but they wanted to seem cool. So they're like, oh, let's just stop time here. Where in the manga, you actually had Asshole, like, who are you talking to?
Oh, okay, right.
Yes, because here it's like he immediately stops time, and it's just like, quickly, you got to do this, right? Where in the manga, it's kind of just like, I think he might even say, can you stop time? And he's like, can't do that. Like, which just makes sense. It's just like, like you run hell, but it's not like you can fucking stop time. Like, that's some crazy
I'm
shit.
guardian of the spirit world. What the hell do you think I look like?
Yeah, no, he's not a fucking magician.
Do I look like your own personal stopwatch, dimwit? That's Genkai's thing. Shut up.
Basically. So, like, it's kind of like, you can't do that shit. And then
it was
also,
hysterical, though. Like, as a kid, I completely lost my shit at that scene. Like, I was ecstatic. I was so happy. No, it's funny. At first, I was like,
none of us did.
At first, I was like, oh God, he just murdered a man. Oh God, he just murdered a man. And then I'm like, no, wait, he's okay. It's not that. He's like, it's not that strong yet because you've just gotten in tune with your spirit powers. I'm like, oh, thank God.
I love the difference just love the difference in scale, where it's just like, in this show, it's like, well, yeah, no, you don't, like, you're not that strong yet. You just got it. Dragon Ball Z just gets the Kamehameha. Look at the water.
Blows up a car.
Fucking Master Roshi. By God, he's Moses.
Well, like in Dragon Ball, when he just tried it, he like blew the doors off of their car, and Roshi's like,
it depends on what version you're looking at. I think one version blew up a car. Did another version go over the water or no?
I'm not sure of that.
Damn. Okay.
The only one I ever knew about was the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even then, it's just like, even the car though, it's just like, by God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roshi's like, it
anyway.
took me 30 years to perfect that.
Yeah.
And this little shit comes along and does it in 2 minutes. Granted, mine's still better, but...
Oh, so I have to admit, both as a kid and now, I was scared for Goki. Like, for Goki and the kids, rather. Not like Goki. I was scared for Goki. He was going to rip his ass.
Yeah.
No, I was scared for the kids that Goki was eating, especially because it's just like, oh, like, you know, so what happens after he puts them in his body? Like, if you, because usually, as you know, you and I, even if, like, we saw a cartoon as a kid, and even to this day, I would argue, we see a cartoon, the American cartoon, right? That says, oh, he ate their souls, or he ate their essence, whatever you want to call it, right? Because souls are a touchy subject in America, right? You know, he ate them. Oh, well, what happens
their soul.
If we destroy them, like destroy him, then they'll all come back, right? And it's kind of like in a time frame. So it puts this really like this big burden on Yusuke, which is good. And then more importantly, you sit there and think, oh my God, the kid that we heard about last week on the news, that kid's not coming back.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, although a lot of, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, a lot of souls did pop out, so maybe that kid's fine.
Yeah.
But like anyone else,
that one kid.
no, that kid might be fine. No, that kid might be fine. We're not talking about that kid. But like, we're talking about just in general, like in history, like Goku's been doing this for a fucking long time. Imagine how many souls he's eaten. That's fucking scary to think about.
Although, I wonder if he ever actually escaped Demon World previously.
Well, it's not our problem. It's like, good job being a nationalist.
Well,
it's not our problem. So you know what? Thankfully, he never did anything bad. It's just like, he destroyed Demon World, you piece of shit.
Fuck you.
I think we need to start talking about demons' rights. Okay?
Oh my God.
So I don't think you respect demons as much as they respect you. Actually, no, you might respect demons as much as they respect you. Actually, no, I think we're good.
Hey,
actually,
you know what? I've
fine.
been summoning demons from my DS for a long time now, so you know what? You can go shove it. And if anyone in the audience got that reference, you get bonus points.
I didn't, and I'm never hanging out with you again. You using motherfucker. So let's see. Oh yeah, the manga also did something better, I think, with Kurama and his mom, where I feel like they wanted some more depth with their backstory, where they were like, oh no, we can't show a lot of blood, so we won't really talk about a lot of what happened with them. And it was rough because, like, I think in the manga, like, also Kurama looked even nicer. You know? I like them showing depth with the demons in general, like, you know, Kurama and Hiei somewhat. But, you know, it was still, like, so, like, hey, not all of them are bad. Because I have to admit, like, I think, nothing against American shows, because there's some great American shows out there, but I feel like American shows, at least at the time, they were very much into this idea of, oh, no, you're either good or you're bad. There's no in between.
Yeah, right.
Now, things have changed over the last 10 years. But but I would argue that when this show came out, compared to the shows that you and I were watching in America, it wouldn't have had a demon who is actually a good guy. Like, that would flabbergast us.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean he's a demon and he's nice?
I mean, that's kind of how I felt about Kurama the whole time. I mean, other than the first meeting where he's kind of so, like, chilled, I'm like, but they're all demons. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the point. It's to show you, like, hey, they're not all bad.
Yeah.
Which is a great message. Especially because, like, even up until the last, like, maybe couple minutes with him, there was still, like, a feeling like, oh, is he going to turn on Yusuke? And it's like, no, he's going to give his own life for his mom. And then Yusuke gave, like, half of his life. So the mirror was like, you are the nicest person ever. And Yusuke's like, I'm going to shoot you in the face in about 2 episodes. Are we good? No, that kind of got me, man. Like, when it speaks, and it's like, I'm going to shoot you in the face.
I never thought of it that way. Or
on, man.
I think I might have been like, wait, didn't I talk to you before? And then I just whatever. But
like,
yeah, when you put it that way.
Yusuke is Dick Cheney quail hunting. Like, I swear to fucking God, like the mirror's gonna have to apologize for being in Yusuke's way. Either that, or it was just like, it's just like, I'm shooting you in the face as the mirror's getting shot. That's what I said to your mom last night.
Okay. How did you know that your spirit gun would reflect off the mirror and hit Hiei? I didn't. What? You think I thought that far ahead?
I gotta be honest though, that I liked that more than a lot of the stuff with Genkai, because listen, I didn't plan, but it seemed right at the time, so, science, right? I know things. But with Genkai, it was more like, I can't believe I did that. You technically didn't. You're right, I didn't. Ha-ha. Like with Genkai, it sucks though, because at first, like in the forest, it was like, hey, I'm just gonna run straight through and kick everyone's ass from beginning to end. That was hilarious.
The best way there, right? Wait, you couldn't have possibly gone straight through the forest. You would have run into a giant bat monster. Yeah, I know. What do you mean he's dead? Damn it, now my mosquito population is going to explode.
My God. Just in my head, good God.
Could you imagine?
Destroy their ecosystem.
Oh, damn it, Yusuke. Like, oh, gee. I wonder if he ate, he kept away, the demon mosquitoes. Oh, dear God, mosquitoes.
No, now in the next time that someone runs through it straight, it's just going to be a mosquito man.
Oh, God. Now that the giant bat monster has been destroyed, my people will take over this.
Oh, my God. But anyway, so, but my point is that, him, running through, it's like at least he beat the guy up. It was, right. Although the fight wasn't shown, which was sad, but it wasn't shown in the manga much either, really. Well, the fight wasn't shown, but still, it wasn't like he sat there and was like, oh, I ran straight through, and then I tripped and headbutted him. No, but that's kind of what happened through your later fights. Not your first one, but your later fights with, not with Genkai, but with
Rando.
With Ninja Man and Rando, where it's kind of it's like, you fell through that thing, that's so smart. I did not know that was happening. I was rushing to my death, actually. And then with Rando, where it's just like, oh no, algae. Now, mind you, it makes Rando look like a jerk too, because Rando never really studied any of his moves. He just took them.
Right.
And he didn't really.
Exactly.
So it makes Rando look like a jerk, because he should have known, but he didn't.
Right.
Because he wasn't taught the move. He just
because Rando's a fucking asshole.
Exactly. But with a funny name, because every time I hear Rando, I always think of Rambo. So literally, imagine Stallone walking around. Just like, hey, you're a spirit detective, but I know 99 moves, and I gotta get that spirit way,
Oh, God. See,
but anyway,
the thing I always laughed at, the one scene that always got me with, how you said earlier about, what about that other kid we heard in the news, you didn't think about that one. The one that always got me was Rando, was he's killed over 100 psychics and taken their powers. And uses and delights in torturing them with them. Oh, okay. That was the one that really got me, and was kind of right in front of your face that you couldn't ignore it.
It freaked me out, but also felt weird that Yusuke beat him, not with ease, but because the fight felt a bit quicker than other fights to me. Again, you and I being not born, but you and I being raised on DBZ stuff.
Right.
It felt like it was kind of like, oh no, he's the meanest thing ever. Nah, Yusuke got him though, so we're good. Again, I understand that they didn't want to make him look like the clear triumphant victor, because that's pretty bad.
Right.
Right? Yusuke just dominating him. You don't want that.
Well, that's why. I think that's why they gave Kuwabara a few shots in when he was still, Shorin in disguise.
Exactly.
And he just fucking wailed on him, and it was like, huh. So So, like, I honestly thought, like, I wonder if he already got disqualified out of the tournament, and, this is just who's left.
Yeah, no, for me, it was
for
like,
a split second, I was like,
yeah.
you almost got me with that. I almost fell for that.
That's funny. For me, it was more like, you have to be him, but you're not him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What do you?
I kind of thought of that too, but.
Yeah, no, because for me, it's funny.
This can't
be
happening,
I thought it was. Yeah, like I think at first, when I was younger, I was like, it's big motherfucker. But then he fought Yusuke first, and I'm like, that's not him. I'm like, so if it's not him, I was like, all right, cross him off. I looked around and I was like, it's it's funny. I was like, it's not the small dude. But in my head, I was like, but it's gonna be the small dude, probably trying to trick him. But if it's not gonna be small dude, I thought it was gonna be Ninja Man, because he had this look about him, like he could kick ass, and he did.
Right.
But
he
wasn't
did.
Rando.
See, it's funny. The guy who gave me that was the hitman that Ninja Dude fought in the first round. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be him.
Yes.
Well, he's dead, so never mind.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
by the way, something I have to mention. I love Chuck Hubert a lot. I mean, he's done Hiei, Garlic Jr., Pilaf, and Android 17. Like, he's such a huge part of my childhood. Like, I know all of them are because this is Funimation.
Right.
But I just have to mention, like, I am a huge fan of, of him. Like, just his voice.
Right.
So smooth.
I thought I'm sorry. I thought there was going to be, like, something more to that.
No, I'm just a fan.
You're
man.
just like, no, I just love the guy. I'm like, oh.
I do.
Okay.
No, yeah, because, I mean, think about this, dude. Like, you're watching Dragon Ball Z, and then you're just like, and especially because, like, I mean, when you and I first saw Garlic Jr., it wasn't his voice, because it was, ocean dub. But then, but watching, I think it's, it's funny. When he ended up being in the show, that's when he did his voice.
Right.
So then hearing him in the show, right, then seeing Android 17, and then seeing, I think, Pilaf came around the same time Hiei did, I think, in terms of, like, they released Dragon Ball in the States fully later, around the same time Yu Hakusho, I believe. So, like, you and I don't know, for me, it's just like, wow. Like, he's not every voice. Like, he's not Sabbath,
Yeah.
But he's still there enough to be like, huh. Oh, also, he was fucking Dr. Marco. No, not Marco. I'm sorry. He was fucking the one in Fullmetal Alchemist.
Right.
He's the one who merged his daughter with the dog.
Oh dear God. Yeah.
He's him. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't even want to give him an affectionate nickname. I fucking hate that guy.
No. Everyone fucking hates that guy.
I fucking I just can't. Also, I like that this series really showed me that, like, hey, like, shonen exists. Like, okay, so not shonen exists, but, like, because obviously Dragon Ball Z did that. But shonen can exist in ways that you don't think it can. Like, it really broadened my horizons on, like, different types of anime. Because to me, right, if you're like, oh, yeah, shonen anime as a kid, I'm just like, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
That is how this is.
Right.
Right? But now you see Yu Hakusho, and, like, for the first 7 episodes or 6 episodes, you're like, oh, mostly, like, slice of life. You're like, okay, so we're seeing his life, and we're seeing how this pans out. It's just like, actually, fucking spirit guns and spirit detectives.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I sense a theme. Spirit's a theme. And then,
and it's funny, like, even with his first few fights, it wasn't like, I mean, like, Yusuke, okay, he's a street punk and he knows how to fight, but at the same time, when you go up against supernatural beings, you kind of need some help.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, Yusuke
that
is
was
so
what I
smart,
loved about.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I was saying Yusuke is smart, so they'll show his street smarts. which is nice.
Yeah.
Again, sadly, he'll sometimes he won't get through the quote-unquote skin of his teeth. He'll just get through because he got lucky. Which I really don't like that a lot. I know it's a typical shonen thing. It's happened a lot with Kaneko Man. I mean, Goku's gotten quote-unquote lucky in some ways at certain points, especially in Dragon Ball. But it always just feels weird to me. But anyway, and I feel like street smarts.
It would have been okay if it wasn't like back-to-back fights.
Thank you.
Like if he had gotten lucky with one of them, it would have been like, oh, all right, that's your one for this arc kind of thing, you know?
Or two of them, just not back-to-back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't particularly care for that either. The whole, I fell in the swamp and he missed. It's like, what?
Exactly. But anyway, so what were you going to say? I apologize.
Oh, yeah, the thing with, when he used the spirit.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. What?
Live on the air. The part when crickets.
No, when
no.
when he shoots his teacher with the spirit gun, Koenma's like, yeah, gather all your energy into your fingertip and then fire. Imagine a trigger in your mind and fire. You know, and he shoots him. He's like, oh, wow, that's awesome. It's like, you can only do it once per day. You sack of crap.
I agree, yeah.
It's like,
so
it's like fighting Goku.
Yourself?
I hate my life.
Yeah, no, because if that was Yusuke's fault, I would have understood. But, like,
right.
I know you have to teach him. You do have to teach him. I get it.
Right.
But, like, wow, you're an asshole.
He learns by example. And I mean, really the only way to teach him was to show him the technique and have him do it. But at the same time...
Yeah, no, it's kind of, it's a nice little go fuck yourself.
Like,
you asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so, moving on. Oh, I would like to mention, by the way, we didn't mention this in the beginning of the show. I want to talk about, just real briefly, this manga came out in the year 1990.
Wow.
Holy crap.
That's only 2 years before us, Matt.
Yeah, no, that's why it matters. Because like Dragon Ball Z, we can sit there and understand and make sense. Like, oh, yeah, no, that came out in the 80s. That's an old thing, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, Dragon Ball. You know, it just makes sense. Like, oh, yeah, that's fine. But this being out before we were born, like, in my head, it's like, oh, no, but it came out when we were still around, like in the mid-90s. No, like 1990.
Right. No.
And then the anime... strangely enough, so it came out in 1992, and it also lasted to 94. So I don't know when they went for, not filler, because I don't think they ever did filler, but I think it shows, like, in the later parts of the series that they're trying to pad things out a bit more.
Right.
Nothing against them. Like, it's not filler. But
right,
I think it shows later on in the series versus right now. But right now, they're like, screw it, we have episodes to burn.
Yeah.
We don't need to pad in anything. In fact, we'll remove things.
Yeah.
Where I think later on, especially during Sensui stuff, they're just like, no, we'll have you guys talking for a bit. Just for a bit. But anyway, so, oh, God, I remember, what?
Yeah. No. Why do we always do it at the same time?
We only do it when we're tired because our timing sucks because we're tired. Thank you for listening, everyone. No, I just wanted to mention that I as a kid and even now, I hated that even though everything, quote unquote, even though it did work out, if you will, Enma still found out. Like, I know it's a good lesson for kids. Like, oh, don't get away with it. But, damn it, I wanted them to get away with it.
Yeah.
Yusuke tried so hard and got so far. But in the end,
it doesn't even matter. And copyright. Karen.
Literally, I start reading the letter, and I'm just like, one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard we try, but deep down inside, I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know that we just got.
No, Matt, you're gonna get this episode taken down.
Like, all I know is we got ourselves hit with a copyright lawsuit. But anyway, So, oh, wow, I'm an idiot. I apparently put down as a note. He's got 99 psychics, but a spirit detective ain't one. Fucking, God. Why did I write that?
Because you were tired.
Apparently. Oh, did you notice, and I'm not even fucking kidding, this is not a joke, this isn't stupid, like, this is real, you should probably go check this out. Zangief is in the background when they are all waiting outside Genkai's place.
Yeah.
Zangief is in the background. Yeah, or at least someone who looks like Zangief.
Okay, I mean, I could believe that. No,
check it out, because there's a dude who has the exact same hair, the exact same chest hair.
Right.
I think he's also in red tights, but don't quote me on the tights. But I know that the hair and the face and the chest hair, both head and chest. I'm like, that's Zangief.
Does he have like scars all over his body too? Or?
Yes, I believe he does. Yes. It's basically, I think it's a shot of Yusuke before Kuwabara showed up.
Right. I guess the authors are a fan of Street Fighter then.
Which I can
totally believe.
That too, yes. And of course,
like that's one of those things is like you know, it's totally believable. Like, yeah, they like Street Fighter. It's like, huh, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Like, yeah.
That's
I wanted to mention
very popular series.
Yeah, something that you know, but you know, and I'm sure a lot of people know, but there's always a chance someone might not know. The voice actress for Frieza
Genkai
is Genkai. Yeah. Which, by the way,
my God!
For some people, that actually matters. Like, you know, they're like, wait a minute, what? And by the way, the first voice actress for Frieza in America, Linda Young.
Right.
Right. Because now we have Christopher Ayers? I'm going to say Ayers.
Sure.
The point is, I like his voice because it's a bit more British.
Right.
Right? And it sounds like, no, because it sounds
Why
like
does the British person always have to be evil, Matt, huh?
Because we took this country back from you.
Oh, God.
So you know what? God bless America.
Oh,
anyway,
there's not going to be enough of a spirit egg to bring you back.
But anyway, the reason why I like, though, Christopher Ayers as Frieza is because he sounds very much like an English Ryusei Nakao, who has voiced over Frieza in Japanese and also voiced over Mayuri in Bleach.
Right.
So now you can hear the voice. You're like, what voice? Oh, I hear it now. In my opinion, the new voice, and of course you've heard the new voice for Frieza in Dragon Ball Z Kai, and basically everything since then.
Right.
But I really do like Linda
I definitely
Young
enjoy his take on it. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so she's there, and then also random voice actor.
That always blew my mind. Like when I finally put two and two together, and it's like Genkai is Frieza. What is wrong with the universe?
Yeah, that actually is one of the things that really got me into voice acting and looking up these actors and things like that, because what happened was, right, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you sound familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. and like, when I found out, I was like, you commit genocide.
It's like,
I was like, good fucking God.
Did not want to find this out.
Not this way. No,
not this way.
In fact, no way, actually.
That's impossible.
That's not a joke. That's accurate. That's exactly how I felt. But anyway, so, yeah, what's funny is, oh, wow, apparently good God, bunch of people have, apparently 2 different voice actors have voiced over Tien in English.
Okay.
That's weird. No, I'm sorry. Just like, dude, like, I never noticed. To me, it was like, no, they're both, like, one dude voiced over Tien. Have you ever sat back and thought 2 different guys voiced over Tien? Really?
Really? No. But...
No. Although you haven't watched Kai. But then again, for me, it was, anyway, my point is that Chris Kaysen, right, who was the initial voice of Tien in Dragon Ball Z, we're not talking about Ocean Dome, we're talking about Funimation, right? He was he was just some random dude talking after Genkai. Like, Genkai said something, and he was just like, wow, is that Genkai? And I was like, ha, you're Tien. Like, it was so fucking... No, same thing with Rando, where I'm hearing him speak like this, and I'm like, you're from the future. You're Trunks.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, hello, Vale. How you doing? Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
It was especially when he was Rando. I'm just like, so your hair goes from purple to blue, and now it's red. It's like, listen here, Alice Cooper. Just settle down.
Speaking of Rando, what did you think about him tying up Yusuke and then throwing him to the, I'm assuming, please correct me if, I'm assuming this was an edit, the hate fish?
Probably not. It's funny. I know it sounds like an edit, but I'm going to go out there and put myself on the line here and say that Japan is very punny, and you know this.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but it was like,
I mean, look,
dude, even as a kid, I was like, really, guys? You have 99 powers, and you choose hate fish.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that.
I just couldn't. I couldn't believe it.
I think it was just Rando. I think it was Rando basically saying, "Ask me if I give a fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I feel like they had to make it. They had to make it a thing where it's like, oh, Yusuke won't die immediately, and he can have the whole conversation with Kuwabara. It's like, maybe they'll make me a spirit detective, and you can just run away and, die. Shut up, Kuwabara!
Yeah, like they had to do that. Yeah, so I gotta be honest, we were just talking, like, in our heads there, but that hurt.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when Rando, like, friggin' broke Kuwabara's arm, I was like, oh God.
Yeah, no,
and, like,
when I was younger,
I've never,
like, I need adults.
Like, even as a kid, and even now, like, I've never broken anything. But,
I just heard you knock on wood. If anyone didn't hear that, he knocked on wood.
So, like,
no,
seeing,
no.
just the
I start narrating.
I'm like,
I start narrating your life, and in turn, it was the desk that broke him in the end.
Oh, God.
Like, what? Like, you trip and fall, you break your arm on the desk. No!
No!
Why, God? Why? You slam your other arm around, but it's a very small room, so you break your other arm.
I mean, there is a bookshelf behind me.
What?
I mean, there is a bookshelf behind me.
You slam your head back in anger, you hit the bookshelf.
Yeah.
You fall to the ground, you just muffle into the carpet. No! Your fucking cats just come in and lay on you.
Not on the broken one!
Not on the broken arm. They're both broken arms.
Damn it!
But, yeah, so I was going to say to you, I liked how in the manga, the bat creature, he looked a lot dumber. Like, he looked basically like Boris Karloff. Yes, Boris Karloff, but a much more, like a caricature of Boris Karloff as Dracula. And I know it wouldn't work in an anime, but, like, I don't know, just for some reason, I feel like Yu Hakusho always had like a little tiny tongue-in-cheekness to it. Just to be like, come on, guys, let's have some fun. In the manga. Right. Where in the anime, it was kind of like, oh, no, we have to make it look cooler.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know, like, I feel like if Dragon Ball had that, it would have been really rough. Where, like, Dragon Ball sat there, they're like, yeah, no, we're going to have some of these funnier moments. Not, oh, how do we make that look cool?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think, we're nearing the end of our show, because looking at my notes, pretty much mentioned earlier, like, oh, the cigarette thing, the rushed fights. Yeah. I will say I forgot that Kuwabara had the sword. And I know that you're like, Matt, how the fuck did you forget that?
What?
Remember, don't always rewatch things. I don't always rewatch things.
Fair enough.
So for me, So for me, I haven't seen Yu Hakusho in full, potentially since I was a kid. Now, I've read a lot of it, but I haven't seen it, and I've read a lot of it to the point where, like, manga-wise, you can shit on me. Because manga-wise,
Yeah.
I've read up to the Dark Tournament, so it's like I should remember it because I've read the manga a few times. Up to that
to
point,
be fair, I
well,
forgot it the first time I rewatched the series too. I'm like, oh right, that's how he did the sword. Because like at first he's like, I don't know how to turn it on. I'm like, are you God damn it, Kuwabara.
Yeah, but it is nice that he got a sword. I think it's funny, even though Yusuke was Yusuke and he had all of his stuff going on. I think I enjoyed Kuwabara more, his fighting style at least, because he was able to have that sword. Like, it made things a lot cooler in my opinion. I don't know, for some reason for me, like, unless you're Goku level strong or like you're in Dragon Ball Z, swords in this show are going to benefit you more than being like, I can do spirit guns. It's like, but Matt, he'll get a spirit wave.
But Matt,
again, he doesn't have
shotgun.
Yes, but still. No, but the thing is that, like, he has to fight a normal fight until he hopefully can get that shot in. Where with Goku, it's just like, I can fly really fast, I can punch even harder, and I can throw little ki blasts if needed. Right?
Yeah.
But with Yusuke, it's like, I have one move, if not two, maybe even three. What are you doing the rest of the time? Not dying, actually.
Well, I mean, I think it was like Yusuke kind of learned how to control his spirit energy a bit more, and he would use it behind his punches. Like, that's usually his go-to thing.
Yeah, no, like, basically,
and then,
I'll say this much. Once he got
he can land the finishing move, it's like, yeah! And every other time it's like, crap.
Things got better. But, like, with Suzaku, which is another situation, I think, which we're not there yet, another situation of, like, I'm trying to not die here, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so let's see what else I have here. Oh,
and I do...
What?
I wanted to ask you one thing.
Please.
What... Now, after Yusuke comes back, I know technically his first case is getting the artifacts back from Kurama, Hiei, and Goki. But for me, it felt like his first case, like his first real case, was when he went after the Saint Beasts. What do you feel like?
I mean, it was his first case in the sense that he actually did it. Like, he was prepared.
Right.
And also he had a team with him. So, like, yeah, it was. I would say that it technically was his first official case. But I mean, technically, like, you can't sit back and be like, oh no, that thing with the Goki, Kurama, and Hiei was nothing. Like, he killed himself.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, shit, Keiko almost got turned into a freaking eye monster.
Exactly. So there was a lot going on there. So in my opinion, it it counts, but you're right. Like, in terms of, like, it was clearly a test case. Like, it was a way to just transition the reader away from what they thought they knew about the manga.
Right.
And as a watcher, again, I mentioned earlier how, we didn't have TV guides the way we do now, where they're not really TV guides, they're just info buttons that tell you everything about an episode and when it even came out. Like, oh, is this a new one? Is this an old one?
Right.
Oh, what specific year was this freaking, aired in? What date? Right? So much knowledge about something that back in the day we didn't really have that. So I think it was a way, at least as a kid, like when I'm watching and I'm like, oh, so this is what the show is. Well, it's still anime. I'll watch it. It seems nice. And then all of a sudden it starts including very action-y elements.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute. Like, I thought we were just going to talk about your life for a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Yeah. So my point is that I do think it was a nice way to kind of edge, kind of get people in without going from 0 to 100.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel like that. Like, I feel like it's a good transition.
Yeah.
But it's also still the, like, team building kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I guess it sets the stage for later. It's like, yes, now he has his team. Now this is official kind of thing, Like, he is the spirit detective.
Well, even then, arguably, them going to fight Suzaku and the Beasts is another test for when they do the tournament. Because now they have the team together. Gets everyone, like, be feeling okay about having Hiei and Kurama there.
Yeah.
Mostly Hiei. Mostly Hiei.
Mostly.
Yeah. Well, because think about this too, right? Look at Dragon Ball, right? They started Goku off basically like, hey, I'm a boy in jungle, right?
Right.
And then he starts meeting people, but even before that, like, who's his first real villain? I know you're going to forget this. Who's his first real villain?
Oolong.
Well, no, I think even before Oolong, I think. Or he might have been working with Oolong, actually. The rabbit that got sent to the moon.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it was like, okay, we're going to test and show you, like, kooky things can happen, but we're not going to throw you into a tournament, nor are we going to throw you Pilaf immediately.
Right.
It's like, no, there's a rabbit. Here's your rabbit. Here's your rabbit, man. Right?
He turns you into carrots. Be careful.
I think did he really do that? I feel like he did.
Yes, that's what he did.
Oh, okay. I don't remember like what he did, which is funny enough. I just remember that he existed, and then eventually he ended up on the moon. Oh, so here's something culturally relevant, at least like just culturally nice, if you will. Not relevant, but it's a nice. Well, it's relevant to Japanese culture. The ninja dude showed me that manji, right, on his head.
Yes.
Really made me understand that not everything is a swastika.
Yes.
Like, but think about that. Like, as like when you're growing up, and even after that, right? Like everyone's just like, oh my God, that's actually.
Ash, yeah, it's very hard to like
here.
Step back and be like, no, it's actually not, because it's not in the right direction or the wrong direction.
Yes, of course, yeah.
I'm gonna fix that real quick.
No. Yeah. You know what it is? It's the thing. I know you so well that I know what you mean by quote unquote right, as in the one that people try to teach you is, oh no, it's just a Nazi symbol. That's what they're teaching you. There's nothing.
No.
It's like actually no. You switch it around. You get to its original roots, which are about, love.
Right.
And Hitler perverted that. And,
exactly.
And because it's religious, we're not going to sit here and just go, well, it's fucked. Like certain things, you can sit there and go, well, that's fucked. Like a Hitler mustache, well, I'm sorry, he ruined it. I know
your mustache is fucked.
I'm sorry, I know Charlie Chaplin started it. So if you're cosplaying as Charlie Chaplin, that's cool.
Right.
But most of the time, you're going to look like you're heiling. Like, if you're Charlie Chaplin trying to get a cab in New York, you don't look like Charlie Chaplin. That's how I think. That's how I see it. Right? You can say, "Oh, a mustache was fucked up," not something that's related to a religion.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. But so it's interesting. That happened too with recently over the last few years with Bleach. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Right. Yes.
But, which is so funny, too. Because I know, like, this is only one random guy in Yu Yu Hakusho, but everyone's just like, Bleach just like Yu Yu Hakusho. It's like, no, it isn't. Manji appears. Well, you know what? Literally one random ninja dude and Yusuke's weapon. But I'm just sitting here. I'm just like, you see it. You all see it. Anyway, so sadly, we're going to have to wrap things up here, really finish them off. But I want to thank you all for listening in, watching, for listening in. And, you'll be hearing us again next week potentially doing Indiana Jones 2, so that'll be a lot of fun. And, so thank you all. I want to mention that we have our merchandise on our main website, which is thoseguysintheradio.tumblr.com/merchandise. You can find our podcast on our social media pages, like our Facebook, which is /ThoseGuysOnTheRadio, our Twitter, which is @ThoseGuysRadio, and our Instagram, which is /ThoseGuysOnTheRadio. You can also find us on iTunes by searching up Those Guys. You can look at our YouTube channels, Those Guys on the Radio, for our podcast, Those Guys Play for our Let's Plays and TG Productions for other fun YouTube skits. You can also go on our Patreon to help us bring our manga to the stage, which is give our regards to Blackjack. So definitely check out our Patreon, which is TG Productions. Thank you all for listening in yet again. And we're really running out of time here, sadly. Talk about Yu Yu Hakusho for too long, Tristan. But it's okay. Anything you want to say before I have to cut you off?
See you next time on the next Yu Yu Hakusho. Bang.
Bum, bum, bum.